Despite India's concerns, Sri Lanka's defense ministry has given approval for the Chinese vessel Shi Yan 6 to come to Sri Lankan waters and work together along with Sri Lanka's National Aquatic Research and Development Agency. This has now sparked concerns in India, and here's why.
Reports of a Chinese research vessel being allowed to dock in Sri Lanka's strategic port of Colombo and Hambantota for 17 days has raised alarm bells in New Delhi. Enough for the Indian Defence Minister to make a visit to the island nation this coming weekend, according to reports. India has officially lodged a complaint with Lanka for allowing the Chinese vessels a free run. The ship Shi Yan 6 is slated to arrive on October 25th and will conduct joint ocean surveys with Sri Lankan agency NARA or the National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency. But there seems to be two versions coming out of Sri Lanka. While local papers said the Defence Ministry had given permission to the Chinese survey vessel, other reports suggested the decision was yet to be taken, and that the President, Vikramasinghe, would decide after attending the Belt and Road Summit in China in October. The Chinese have called the ship a scientific research vessel crewed by 60 that carries out oceanography, marine geology and marine ecology tests. India, however, says these ships from China are surveillance and ballistic missile trackers. Over the past few years, many such Chinese vessels have docked at Sri Lankan ports. A similar expedition last year by a spacecraft tracking vessel had sparked security concerns for India. The Shi Yan 6 visited Sri Lanka on the 20th of April 2022 and remained in the sea off Sri Lanka for a total of 10 days. In August last year, the Yuan 5 was given permission to dock at the Hambantota port. India voiced concerns that the ship would be used to spy on its activities. During President Ranil Wickremesinghe's visit to India in July, Prime Minister Narendra Modi even raised the issue of India's strategic and security concerns vis-a-vis China. But with Sri Lanka deep in Chinese debt, Wickremesinghe has a difficult job. The Hambantota port is on a 99-year lease to China. Sri Lanka is currently being economically propped up by IMF loans and the Paris Club of Creditor Nations, and China is one of its largest lenders. The Chinese have also expressed interest in investing in Lanka's northern and eastern provinces. But any development in the strategic port in the district of Trincomalee must be done in consensus with India as per the 13th Amendment of the island nation's constitution. Lanka's northern and eastern provinces are close to South Indian state of Tamil Nadu, and China has been aggressively pursuing this region. Unlike Sri Lanka's relationship with China that is driven at least in some parts by debt obligations, India has offered $4 billion as aid to Lanka, including food, oil and aviation fuel after its economic crisis, and remained a close strategic neighbour in the Indian Ocean region. Singh's visit is to reinstate that commitment, even as President Ranil Wickremesinghe makes his first official visit to China in October to look for new investments, reach trade agreements and resume funding for stalled projects.